Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to fix the Inkbird 306 or 308 just in case you need to change out your temperature probe. Hello, welcome to Aquarium Thoughts, and I'm Dave. In some of my previous videos you might remember me recommending the Inkbird temperature controller. Can I still recommend it? Yes. There is a design flaw on it that was actually brought to my attention from Tom at TM Aquatics. I'll put the link to that video down below as well. And I've actually experienced this flaw as well with the stainless steel tips. Make sure if you are buying the Inkbird water controller, make sure you do get the rubberized temperature probe. But if you do have a stainless steel one, do not fret. Don't just go out and buy a new one because it has a stainless steel one. If it goes bad, there is a fix. So let's go ahead and take a look at that fix. Today I'm going to be fixing my Inkbird, the 308 version, although the same principle applies to the 306, which I fixed previously. Now first thing I did was actually contacted Inkbird directly. Basically I was able to get one probe replacement from them because one of my probes was still under warranty through them. However, the other probe was not. So I actually went on Amazon and actually found a replacement probe for it. Easy. It's easy to fix, easy to replace. Here I'm going to show you how. This is of course the package from Amazon, which is the new probe that I'm going to use on the 306-8 right here that I use in my bedroom tank. Bedroom tank was also reading bad. This one has the stainless steel top, which if you have these, it might not be recommended. Although according to Inkbird in their email, they said, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. I know another YouTuber out there said they contacted Inkbird and they said this wasn't for aquariums, but the person I emailed said, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. But I'm replacing with what's in this bag right here. Let me go ahead and open this up, which is going to be a new replacement for the Inkbird 308 on this one. Now on this one, I'm going to open it up, and this is the difference. This one right here has the rubber tip, which is a rubberized tip. This one right here, which went bad, has a stainless steel. In the past, I had problems with the stainless steel ones, where basically on this one right here that was in my bedroom tank, today it was reading 85 degrees, which by no means is it going to be that hot right this time in Southern California. Right now, lately it's been about 60-65 degrees outside. In the house, it's probably about 70. So I knew my tank was not 85 degrees. And of course, I did check with another thermometer, which actually stated it was about 74 degrees. So it was a difference of about 11 degrees. That is not good because the heater's not going to go on because I think it's hot enough. And that's just not going to cut it. So the probe was bad. I'm replacing it. I replaced the probe on the one in my main tank. It works great now. It's actually accurate. So let me go ahead and show you guys how to fix this. First of all, you are going to need the Inkbird that you're changing the probe on. Of course, bad probe, that's going to be replaced with another thing that you're going to need, which is the new probe. Now, this probe I did order on Amazon. I think it was like 11, 13 bucks. I will put the link in the description for it. That way you guys could order as well if you need it. So you're going to need this. You're going to also need some tools. Not really a hammer, especially not a toy hammer, so you don't need that. You will need a screwdriver, preferably a Phillips head. Not that that's focusing on it, but you are going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. I'll place that down there. You are also going to need a wire stripper, which is like this right here. That way you can actually strip some of the wire down to actually get to the root of changing it out. What you're also going to need is some electrical tape. So I have that as well. Now, of course, a better solution is probably going to be maybe wire soldering. Soldering, that's what it is. But I'm not skilled in soldering, so I'm not going to try it. I'm going to just use good old electrical tape to fix it, which is what I did on the main tank one. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to set your parts aside, and you're going to grab the Inkbird. You're going to look on the back, and you are going to have 4 screws. You're going to have one right there, there, and there. What you need to do first is take your screwdriver and unscrew the screws in the 4 corners. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly unscrew this. So now I have that unscrewed. I'm going to set this aside so I do not lose these screws. The screws are going to be very important to being able to put it back on, which you're going to need to do. So basically that is that. This is the inside where you have the circuit board and the wizard tree that makes the Inkbird work. So basically I'm going to just take that out of the housing very carefully here. It's just kind of sitting on where the screws sit. So just be carefully to take that out, preferably when you've already been grounded, of course. And basically you're going to single out the probe wire, which is going to be this guy right here, which is on the far, well, if you're looking at it in the video, it's on your left, and I'm looking at my right. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. What you're going to do is you're going to take your wire snippers right there, and then you're going to cut that wire off. I'm going to cut it right about there. So I'm going to cut that wire off. So basically now this does not have a temperature probe on it, which is good because this one wasn't working to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that aside right there. Now for those actually doing soldering, it might be if you could do it, I don't know if you could see it, but this is kind of soldered onto the board right there, which I'm not going to worry about that. But give me 1 second, I'm going to actually change the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now you can see me working on this a little bit better. That way I'm not holding it up, because this part I can't really hold up and do because I'm going to need both hands right here. The other tools you do need. So basically you're going to take the wires right here, and what you are going to do is you're going to strip a little bit off. I used on this one, let me see if I could read what it is. I read the very smallest one, which is I believe that says 20 gauge. So it's a 20 gauge wire, which worked on my last one, so that worked fine. Now on this one, you do want to get a good pair of these. These are a little dull, and it's kind of a struggle for me. So you might want to make sure you got a good pair. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take it and strip a little bit off. So you're going to have a little bit of the wire showing right there, because you're going to have to attach the new probe on those wires. So I got the white one cut off, not cut off, but stripped. And then I'm going to take the black one and do the same thing. Take the wire strippers and strip the insulation off that. So right now I do have the 2 middle wires exposed. Once again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. You kind of see it, I think. Which basically have the middle exposed. Then what you need to do is you're going to take the new probe and prepare that. Of course, take off the lovely zip tie, not zip tie, bread tie. Take that off so you don't need that on there. And on this one, you also have a white wire and a black wire, which is similar to the ones that you're attaching it to. The white goes on the white and the black goes on the black, which is what's going to happen when you put this on here. So basically I'm going to set that aside, because what you also need to do with the electrical tape is going to protect the wires. That way they don't short themselves, and that way they stay nice and secured while you're reattaching this thing. So you're going to take a couple pieces of that. I'm going to prepare them, set them there, and let's go ahead and finish this job right here. One thing I do on this as well, I'm not really thrilled about the size of the wires that they left open on these. So all I'm going to do is strip it a little bit more off, and that way I have more wire to attach to the old wire. So I just want to make that a little bit larger. Now you don't probably have to do this. I kind of like to work with a little more bare wire. So I'm going to take the white one with the white one. I'm going to go ahead and combine those. And then I'm going to twist them together. Twist, twist, twist. Got to twist them together here. So make sure they're nice and secured, and that way that they won't come detached. Otherwise, the probe won't read the temperature. So I'm going to bend that down and get my first piece of tape right here, and then all I'm going to do is wrap that piece up so it's nice and secure right there. Make sure the top is also covered, and there you have it. The white wire is secured. Okay, so I have that one, and now you need to do the same to the black one. So basically I'm going to take the black ones, I'm going to twist them together here. Twist, twist, twist. And then bend that back down like I did the first one. And get the other piece of tape and tape that secure, and just like so. Then that is just about done. Da-da-da. And then I'm going to kind of just seal those together with that little end right there. And there we have it. We have the new probe attached to the controller. So then all you have to do is put it back together. So you're going to put the board back on. Of course, this little display goes towards the window right there. You're going to basically seat that back down in there. Carefully, careful. Don't want to break it. Of course, the wires are probably going to be a little bit in the way. So I'm just going to bend that over that way, make sure that they're not covering the buttons. Because if you look on the circuitry, there is 3 buttons, which is what controls the settings. So you might want to make sure that those are able to be pressed. Make sure that's nice and secured and none of the wires are exposed. That probably will not be good. So I'm going to put the circuitry back where it belongs. Very, very carefully here. So the circuitry's back on, and then you just need to replace the cords in their slots. Make sure that they're nice and secured down. Okay, those are secured, as well as the one that goes for the probe as well. Make sure that's nice and in there. Okay, there we go. So once you have that, then you can take your back cover and then put it back together. So I'm gonna set that down there. And that is nice and okay, there we go. And then you're going to take your screwdriver and then you're going to screw the screws back in. I'm going to do that corner first. So that is going down and that is secured back into place. Re-inspect, make sure everything's still nice and set. And then I'm going to take the other corner and screw that in. Kind of just keep things even so I'm not kind of warping it at all. Okay, so I have that and that, and then I'm going to do the final 2 screws. So there we have it. We have the Inkbird 308 right here fixed. We have a new temperature probe on it. That should work perfectly fine, especially in the aquarium, which is going to have the rubberized probe. So this is all set to be replaced back into my bedroom tank. So let's go ahead and check that out. I tested this out last night. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, and I'm going to show you what it did. Basically, it is airing out. Unplug that. It's airing out, probably due to something with the probe. So I'm going to go ahead and try fixing it again and seeing if that fixes it. Otherwise, I might have just received a bad probe. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that and see if I can fix that. So I might have to return it and fix it later. So okay, so the fix actually worked. I went back in there and reconnected the cords, and everything seems to be fine. As you can see, the temperature on the Inkbird is reading 70.1, as opposed to the other thermometer, which is reading 70.9, which for me is probably going to be decent enough. Now if you want to calibrate the Inkbird, you can still calibrate it. Take a look at my other video of me setting it up and you will learn how to do that as well. But basically this is a lot better than what it was reading when it was reading 85 degrees as opposed to 74. So it definitely is working. The different probe is working a lot better than the old probe. So I would definitely recommend going out and getting the replacement probe. Go to the Amazon link in the description, purchase one. That's if the probe that you got on it is broken. It's a pretty easy fix, as long as you know what you're doing. Definitely wouldn't be going in there if I didn't have at least some kind of clue, but it's easy fix. It's a $12 to $13 fix as opposed to buying a whole new Inkbird, which costs about $35. So that was my little how-to guide on how to change the temperature probe on your Inkbird 306 or 308. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained the knowledge on how to do it. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments below or email me at dave@aquariumthoughts.com. Now one thing to keep in mind as well is I actually reread the email from Inkbird, and actually what they wanted me to do was actually a little bit different. Instead of opening it up, they just want me to cut the cord on the outside and splice it in that way, which is how this picture is showing. You could do it that way. I kind of like the way that I did it, mainly because it's going to look neater, even if you're not going to be looking at it. But both ways would work. Just the way that Inkbird told me to do it was a little bit different than how I actually did it. Now, one thing I want to know is how many of you actually use the Inkbird temperature controller, and how many actually had issues like this on their controller, and how you got it fixed. Did you just replace it, or did you actually fix it this way? Please leave it down in the comments below. Anyways, as normal, keep researching, keep learning, and happy fish caping. Thank you.